It's been a rough year for the LGBTQ community in the nation's schools, with more than 300 anti-LGBTQ bills proposed. This week, President Biden signed an executive order directing federal agencies to promote gender-affirming care and inclusive education.
But in tonight's cover story, instead of heated rhetoric from politicians, we thought we'd show you what actually happens in a classroom where it's okay to say gay.
Oh, anybody's Batman?
At Edison Park Elementary, the school day starts.
Good morning, guys.
Just like it does in every public school.
Good morning, Edison Park Wolves. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
With the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America.
But today, in Mrs. Carrie Stern's 5th grade class, students are learning about another flag.
A flag with 8 colorful stripes.
Today, we will be doing a lesson on Harvey Milk, and we'll be learning about him and his contributions, as well as the history of the Rainbow Pride flag.
The lesson was about pride and about a central figure in the gay rights movement, Harvey Milk.
He discovered that the best way to change laws was to help, what? Make laws.
The San Francisco city supervisor who was assassinated in 1978.
He became one of the first openly gay people to be elected to political office in the United States.
With their pencils and Post-its, students jotted their thoughts, like this one. What I know about the pride flag is it stands up for all colors. And those students discovered those colors illustrated the story's universal themes.
I'm like, I know everybody has some differences, but everybody should be treated equally. Everybody should be treated the exact same. Just like that, just like the golden rule, treat people how you want to be treated.
That dream would change history.
Mrs. Stern, a 17-year veteran of the classroom,
Harvey dreamed that everyone, even gay people, would have equality.
Teaches reading, writing, and social studies.
Did you hear something that could be a possible theme or a message?
And her classes include all of the standard lessons on reading and writing.
The flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. It's one of our academic vocab words. Alliteration, very nice.
If it doesn't seem groundbreaking,
It's not a big shock.
that's because it really shouldn't be. The once taboo topics arise naturally, along with lessons about presidents and policies, authors and artists.
I think we can learn a lot from this, and we will be more comfortable talking about these topics that are usually hard to talk about. I feel it just makes everyone feel more at ease.
Why is it important for you to learn about LGBTQ plus topics in your classroom?
I think that the LGBTQ community has been vital in making the country America is today. It teaches us embracing our differences and diversity, and it helps the LGBTQ community feel more respected and accepted.
Inclusion isn't just an experiment in one class. All of Edison Park Elementary's 460 students learn age-appropriate lessons about diverse cultures, ethnicities, and sexual orientations, as they are required to do in all public schools in the Prairie State. There are only 5 states that mandate inclusive learning in public schools: California, New Jersey, Colorado, Oregon, and Illinois. The Illinois Inclusive Curriculum Act gives wide latitude to local school boards to determine just how the law should be implemented, saying only that history classes shall include a study of the roles and contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people by the time students finish 8th grade.
Classroom materials about sexuality and woke gender ideology.
Across the country, it's a completely different story. The number of bills proposed in state legislatures classified as anti-LGBTQ by the American Civil Liberties Union has skyrocketed in the last 5 years. In 2018, there were only 41 bills introduced. This year so far, there have been more than 300. WGN News contacted the Alliance Defending Freedom, the group pushing many of the state House bills, and a representative there declined to comment. But those bills are bringing culture wars to classrooms to curb LGBTQ lessons, ban transgender athletes, outlaw more than 1,500 books, and most infamously, in Florida, to ensure that teachers and students don't say gay from kindergarten through 3rd grade.
It's about protecting parents' ability to be involved, and it's making sure that the classroom instruction, particularly at these very young age, are focused on math, science, and reading.
When this whole story isn't being told, students aren't being informed about amazing people who have made contributions to our society. Members of the LGBTQ plus community are our friends, our neighbors, our peers, our family members, and when we aren't sharing the stories of those people, we're doing a great disservice to children.
It's the kind of education that generations of Americans have never experienced. A 2017 survey from the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network showed that 88% of LGBTQ plus students have only heard the word gay as a slur. And less than 1/4 were ever taught anything positive about LGBTQ plus people in their classrooms.
They're also, maybe feel ashamed of maybe who they are and what their true identity is. So it's really important to share those stories and to talk about it because this is our world.
I like learning about the LGBTQ plus topics because I have 2 cousins and they're gay.
For 11-year-old Nolan Boyle, it's simply about seeing the real world reflected back in his education.
There's so much to learn about it, and they were discriminated upon for many years until 2015 when it became legal to be married gay.
The conservative advocacy group known as Parents' Rights in Education of Illinois, which opposes inclusive education laws, did not respond to WGN's requests for an interview, but in a statement said, politicians are usurping parental authority and religious liberty, and said the law amounts to abusive behavior and a direct assault on the innocence of children by left-wing political activists in state government.
I don't see any controversy at all, right? People have different beliefs, but when you talk about children entering a school, and we want to make sure that they are ready to learn, and they can only be ready to learn if they feel safe. And that means they have to feel included by the teachers, by the staff, by the families, everyone around.
And perhaps that's the most important lesson. We all live here. The Pledge of Allegiance that starts every school day also ends with these 3 words.
With liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
What I'm doing in my classroom is humanizing voices and sharing stories that need to be told and shared, and teaching kids to be kind.
In Edison Park,
They began to feel pride.
Mike Lowe.
They began to have hope.
WGN News.
And inclusive education recently became a heated issue in the Republican primary for governor of Illinois. If you want to hear what the candidates said about that, you can watch the debate that WGN hosted on our website, WGNTV.com.